Hello, and let's continue with the discussion about data mapping that we are having for the last few days. Today, we are going to understand the three critical types of data mapping that have been defined. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you daily see new content on privacy. And as I said, let's talk about the three different levels of data mapping that an organization should do in order to ensure that they know what data they have and how it's getting processed. Data mapping, as we now very clearly understand, that this is the process of identifying, categorizing, and tracking the personal data, or actually just the data. But since we are talking in terms of privacy, so we call it personal data in your organization. How is it getting collected? What is actually that is getting collected, and what and how does it move across the entire organization? It helps us understand the processes of collection, storage, processing, sharing, and deletion of data that has been collected by the organization. Each one of them, of course, with their detailed process of how they are done, what triggers them, what is the purpose, and what is the outcome of doing it. So now we'll, in this video, talk about the three primary levels of data mapping. They're defined into business level data mapping to begin with, a way to understand the overall, the macro level of the data that you have in the organization. All the five processes that we talked of. So a micro level of those processes within the organization, ideally good for privacy officers, legal teams, the senior management actually, to know how is the data being used or flowing across in your organization. And then you have a technical level of data mapping where you do a bit of details of it, right? Is it what kind of technicality in it? What kind of IT systems are being used? Maybe it's just a file, but then you know that this is a file created and stored here, and these are the kind of accesses that are provided to that file, right? Role-based access that we have been talking of. It's being encrypted or unencrypted. Or it could be the databases, right? What kind of databases are being used and what are the fields and columns inside the databases, the rows and columns inside the databases. Good for IT guys and the security professionals. And then you have a field level of the very, very granular one where you get down into details of each and every database, the tables, the fields, what kind of fields are there. And this one actually helps map one database with another database, one table with another table. So tomorrow, if you have to do migration, or tomorrow in the mapping, you want to understand how a CRM and ERP can work together, right? We spoke about these in the previous videos. We also spoke about mapping between structured and unstructured data. So until you know the granular level of the database, then that cannot be done. So these are the three types. Let's get into a bit more detail of each of them. When we say business level, it's a high level mapping where overall as an organization, you know what kind of data is being collected, where is it being stored. So you identify the collection points, map them along, define a business process that involves the data, map them with security requirements, and use them in future also while conducting assessments and regulatory compliances in your system. That also helps you understand where the data is stored and how is it being processed from a overview overall way for the entire organization. Then you come down to technical level, which is talking about where it's being stored and what kind of data it is. Like I mentioned, files, file tables. IT teams and security professionals should know about it, and their focus should be on the databases, on the apps, and on the APIs. It identifies data attributes, fields, what data is being collected, names of the customers, vendors, their email IDs, their phone numbers, much more, but just an example. Helps you also identify, are they encrypted, are they hashed, how are they made secure from a field, from a database perspective, and helps you identify the potential security risk with each of these databases. Good for IT people, they need to understand and monitor the flow of the data, and then they need to move on to the field level, the granular level. Typically only for databases, good for database administrators and engineers who need to know each and every individual field within each and every database tables. So the focus shifts from the entire database to a granular level, and it helps them identify the types of data. Are there characters, varchar, integers, boolean? And as I said, why is this required? This is required when I have to merge or extract data or provide security to data across two databases, a CRM and a ERP, two applications, or I have to map structured and unstructured data. Then I need to know that like I said in the last video also, customer ID for CRM might be 00001, but defined as a character. Customer ID for ERP might also be 00001, but defined as a number. So I need to understand the relationship between the two, and as a best practice, convert one of them into either character or into numbers. So bringing both of them at the same level. If I have not done that mapping, I don't know about it. But when both of them come up at the same level, I can easily link them for reporting. I can easily link them to report them with the unstructured data also. This also includes transformation of data, normalization of data to a standard format. We spoke about date formats, DDMMY. If that's the standard you use, that should be same across all tables. And if I don't know what are they happening inside the tables, then I don't know. So this helps you know the origin of your data as well as the changes that are coming along, and helps your IT team plan all the external mappings and migrations. So that's about field level or the granular data mapping. Do they work together? Well, as an organization, as a management, I know kind of data I have. Once I know that, I need to go back to IT. So IT needs to know what kind of databases and file servers are they using, and how is the data being stored. Is it encrypted? It is not encrypted. What all security measures, role-based access, and all can be put on those things to make them more secure. And then if it comes to database, then the IT needs to get into the field level to understand the same thing. So they do work, and all three of them has to exist in every organization, and they all work together. They all work together. They all help you decide where does the data reside, how does it flow, and how do the fields manage the accuracy and integrity of the fields. So that's about the three types of data mapping. We move on to the more interesting topics on data mapping in subsequent videos. We are going to talk about how to do and when and why to do manual data mapping, and the same questions to be answered about automatic data mapping in the next couple of videos. So subscribe to my channel, stay tuned, share your feedback in the comment section, and if you like this video, please press the like and bell icon. Thank you.